जाना है दौड़ तुझे हौसला छोड़ो ना हौसला छोड़ो ना हौसला जाना।
The 21st century is an era of a very vast and growing technology, and in this era there is everlasting need of gadgets which make our life more easier and much efficient. But with the growing of this technology, there are more loopholes which get created, which lead to the loosening of the security of our systems. This leads to hacks and the leaking of personal or public data. Therefore, the privacy of a person or an organization is at a huge risk. An awesome morning to one and all present here. Today I, RISHABH JAIN, a student of class 11 Science, is going to be your host for the Cybersecurity Awareness Program. Now, what's the first thing that comes in our mind when we talk about cybersecurity? I'll suffice with that. The term cybersecurity refers to the protection of computers against the theft or the damage to the hardware, software or electronic data, as well as from the disruption or the misdirection of the services they provide. With the ongoing pandemic, there has been a more reliance of people on the systems, be it online or offline. Almost the entire commercial sector is online. Even the schools are run online too, as you can see. With the increase in the dependency, there are more and more online conferences, more and more online transactions, which are online too. This all catches the sight of hackers, which in turn end up bypassing our systems, the security, and the private data of an organization or a person is at a possibility of being leaked. To prevent all this, various firms and companies have been decided to come up with the idea of cybersecurity. Now today in this program, we're going to tell you about a series of events that will suffice you with the idea of cybersecurity. We'll also tell you about the preventive measures to be taken. First of all, we are going to have a presentation by the students of class 12 Science regarding the importance of data and the security. So without any further ado, let's get started.
Good morning everyone present. The theme for Cybersecurity Awareness Month 2020 is Do Your Part #Be Cybersmart. The theme empowers individuals and organizations to own their role in protecting their part of cyberspace, with a particular emphasis on the key message for 2020: if you connect it, protect it. With technology being an integral part of everyday life, it is important to protect our digital lives from continuously evolving cyber threats. However, governments and their agencies are well aware of these threats, so to educate their citizens to do their bit and be responsible, they raise awarenesses using various campaigns. All these marvels of technology also introduce a slew of potential risks and avenues for cyber attack. But being aware of how these devices impact our lives and what risk they carry allow us to handle them more responsibly. When everyone is responsible and everyone does their part, it increases global immunity and reduces the risk of getting cyber infected.
Cybersecurity is the art of protecting networks, devices, and data from unauthorized access or criminal use, and the practice of ensuring the confidentiality and integrity of our information. In short, cybersecurity means protecting our data and information networks. There are some reasons which states the need of cybersecurity. First, it helps in securing data from various threats and malicious activities. Second, it safeguards our computer from viruses. Third, it secures from cybercrime. Fourth, it protects our systems, computers, and data from attack, damage, or unauthorized access. Now, what is cybercrime? It is a computer-oriented crime which involves a computer and a network. For example, email and internet fraud.
So, what is data? Data is a collection of facts, numbers, words, measurements, observations, etc. that has been translated into a form that computers can process. Why is data so important? Well, data is important because it helps us in many ways. Data improves people's lives. Data is helpful in improving the quality of life for people By allowing us to measure and take subsequent action, an effective data system can enable us to improve the quality of people's lives. Data helps in making informed decisions. Data provides us with knowledge. Good data provides indisputable evidence, while anecdotal evidence, assumptions, or abstract observation might lead to wasted resources like time and money due to taking action based on an incorrect conclusion. Data helps in getting the results we want. Data allows organizations to measure the effectiveness of a given strategy. When strategies are put into place to overcome a challenge, collecting data will allow us to determine how well our solution is performing and whether or not our approach needs to be tweaked or changed over the long term. Data helps in finding the solutions to problems. Data allows organizations to more effectively determine the cause of problems. Data allows organizations to visualize relationships between what is happening in different locations, departments, and systems. If the number of the errors has gone up, is there an issue that may suggest a cause? Looking at these data points side by side allows us to develop more accurate theories and put into place more effective solutions. Data increases efficiency. Effective data collection and analysis will allow us to direct scarce resources where they are most needed. Data will also support organizations to determine which areas should take priority over others to ensure maximum efficiency. Data helps in keeping track of our progress. Good data allows us to establish benchmarks and goals to keep moving forward. As data allows us to measure, we will be able to track our performance and set appropriate performance goals. Collecting data thus allows organizations to set goals for performance and celebrate their successes when they are achieved.
Now let's move on to some threats to data. A threat is a potential violation of security. When a threat is actually executed, it becomes an attack. Some common threats faced by an average computer user every day are computer viruses. They are malicious code programs that causes damage to data and files in a system. A worm is a self-replicating program which eats up the entire disk space or memory. A Trojan horse is a program that appears harmless but actually performs malicious functions such as deleting or damaging files. Spyware. A spyware is a software which is installed on your computer without your consent to spy on your activities and report this data to people willing to pay for it. Adware. These are the programs that deliver unwanted ads to your computer. They consume your network bandwidth. Spamming. Spamming refers to the sending of bulk mail by an identified advertising mail is sent to many accounts. In malicious form, the attacker keeps on sending bulk mail until the mail server runs out of disk space. Eavesdropping. Eavesdropping is a passive attack in which an attacker gains access to the communication medium through which some communication is taking place and then listens to the communication and gets information about the content of the message. Phishing and farming. In phishing, an imposter uses an authentic looking email or website to trick recipients to acquire sensitive personal information. Through farming attack, the attacker points you to a malicious and illegitimate website by redirecting the legitimate URL. Cookies. A cookie is a small piece of data sent from a website and stored in a user's web browser while a user is browsing the internet. They help track users' browsing session and load information faster, but they do create some privacy and security concerns. While cookies encrypt the information they store, if somebody found out the encryption key and acquired your cookies, they could discover your passwords. When you visit certain websites with advertisements, those ads create cookies that store and track your online patterns.
Now let us move on to a discussion about ransomware. So what is a ransomware? The definition says ransomware is a malicious code that is used by cyber criminals to launch data kidnapping and lock screen attacks. So basically, ransomware is a course of two words, ransom and software. So a software that demands ransom. So what is ransom then? Ransom means a sum of money demanded or paid for the release of captive. The motive for ransomware attacks is monetary, and unlike other types of attacks, the victim is usually notified that an exploit has occurred and is given instruction for how to recover from the attack. Payment is often demanded in virtual currency to protect the criminal's identity. Ransomware malware can be spread through malicious email attachments, infected software apps, infected external storage devices, and compromised websites. In a lock screen attack, the malware may change the victim's login credentials for a computing device. In a data kidnapping attack, the malware may encrypt files on the infected device as well as other connected network devices. Now let us come to a discussion on types of ransomware. Locky. Locky is a type of ransomware that was first released in a 2016 attack by an organized group of hackers, which is designed to lock the victim's computer and prevent them from using it until a ransom is paid. With the ability to encrypt over 160 file types, Locky spreads by tricking victims to install it via fake emails with infected attachments. This method of transmission is called phishing, a form of social engineering. Locky targets a range of file types that are often used by designers, developers, engineers, and testers. Petya. Petya is a ransomware attack that first hit in 2016 and resurged in 2017 as GoldenEye. Rather than encrypting specific files, this vicious ransomware encrypts the victim's entire hard drive. It does this by encrypting the master file table, making it impossible to access files on disk. Petya spread through HR department via a fake job application email with an infected Dropbox link. CryptoLocker. CryptoLocker botnet is one of the oldest forms of cyber attacks which has been around for the past 2 decades. The CryptoLocker ransomware came into existence in 2013 when hackers used the original CryptoLocker botnet approach in ransomware. CryptoLocker is the most destructive form of ransomware since it uses strong encryption algorithms. It is often impossible to decrypt or to restore the crypto ransomware infected computer and files without paying the ransom. WannaCry. WannaCry is the most widely known ransomware variant across the globe. The WannaCry has infected nearly 125,000 organizations in over 150 countries. Crisis. Crisis is a special type of ransomware which encrypts files on fixed drives, removable drives, and network drives. It again spreads through malicious email attachments with double file extensions. Server. Server is another ransomware variant which targets cloud-based Office 365 users. Millions of Office 365 users have fallen prey to an elaborate phishing campaign carried out by the server ransomware. And there are some other ransomware like all these which have made an impact. Now let us talk about a case study on WannaCry ransomware. On Friday 12 May 2017, a large-scale cyber attack was launched affecting 150 countries in less than a day. So this is how rapidly this ransomware spread like wildfire. The hackers demanded payment over $300 to $600, which is roughly around Rs 19,000 to Rs 38,000, which were to be paid using bitcoins. And if you don't pay the ransom in 3 days after the data has been encrypted, then the ransom is doubled. The British NHS, international shipper FedEx, telecommunication company Telefonica, and others were among the biggest targets. Attack in Britain. In Britain, there is a healthcare system called NHS, National Health Service, which takes care of the citizens who are suffering from diseases, and all the treatment is done under this NHS. Since a lot of the NHS computers were hacked by ransomware called WannaCry, therefore a lot of patients who are going to have their surgeries done, their treatment were suddenly stopped, and how traumatizing effect that must have caused to all those patients who desperately needed a surgery or a treatment. They have to wait because of this malicious software, and this have impacted very much on people's lives. Whenever a device is attacked by ransomware, this appears, which shows that, oops, your files have been encrypted, and there are 2 timers. The first one is telling that his ransom will be doubled from $300 to $600 within the time, and if it is not paid after that, then all the files will be lost from the device. So how devastating this can be for someone, because someone may have very valuable information on his device. Now you have understood the different examples of ransomware attacks that individuals and companies have fallen prey to in recent years and became victims because they clicked on links in spam emails, or they may have opened infected attachments. So, if you are sent a ransomware email, how can you avoid becoming the victim of an attack? The best way to spot a ransomware email is to check the sender. Is it from a trusted contact? If you receive an email from a person or company you do not know, avoid clicking on links in emails from untrusted sources, and never open email attachments in emails from senders you do not trust. Be particularly cautious if the attachment asks you to enable macros. This is a common way ransomware is spread. If you become the victim of a ransomware attack, do not pay the ransom. Paying the ransom that the cybercriminals are demanding does not guarantee that they will return your data. These are thieves after all. It also reinforces the ransomware business, making future attacks more likely. If your data is backed up externally or in cloud storage, you will be able to restore the data that is being held to ransom. But what if you do not have a backup of your data? We recommend contacting your internet security vendor to see if they have a decryption tool for the ransomware that has attacked you.
In conclusion, we need to realize that cybersecurity is a never-ending battle. A permanently decisive solution to the problem will not be found in the foreseeable future. For the most part, cybersecurity problems result from the inherent nature of information technology, the complexity of information technology systems, and the human fallibility in making judgments about what actions and information are safe or unsafe from a cybersecurity perspective, especially when such actions and information are highly complex. None of these factors is likely to change in the foreseeable future, and thus there are no permanent solutions to this problem. In addition, threats to cybersecurity evolve. As new defenses emerge to stop older threats, intruders adapt by developing new tools and techniques to compromise security. As information technology becomes more ubiquitously integrated into society, the incentives to compromise the security of deployed IT systems grow. As innovation produces new information technology applications, new venues for criminals, terrorists, and other hostile parties also emerge, along with new vulnerabilities that malevolent actors can exploit. Why is cybercrime increasing? Information theft is the most expensive and fastest growing segment of cybercrime, largely driven by the increasing exposure of identity information to the web via cloud services. But it is not the only target. Industrial controls that manage power grids and other infrastructure can be disrupted or destroyed. And identity theft isn't the only goal. Cyber attacks may aim to compromise data integrity to breed distrust in an organization or government. Importance of cybersecurity. Cybersecurity's importance is on the rise. Fundamentally, our society is more technologically reliant than ever before, and there is no sign that this trend will slow. Personal data that could result in identity theft is now posted to the public on our social media accounts. Sensitive information like social security numbers, credit card information, and bank account details are now stored in cloud storage services like Dropbox or Google Drive. Some methods of prevention are: inculcate a habit of not using passwords but start using passphrases. This will secure the authentication and help you stay safe. Activate Windows firewalls so that the security barrier is raised to next level. Invest in good antivirus and anti-malware software. Stop installing cracked software. If not, then it will open doors for a lot of spyware installation. If you are using online storage spaces like Google Drive, Dropbox, then please make sure you encrypt your data by using online encrypted services. This way, if these big companies face any data breach, you do not have to worry about your data loss. Secure your Wi-Fi networks with secure passphrases rather than a password. Make sure your social media settings are appropriate. Secure your mobile phones. Always make a habit to download apps from Google Play Store or Apple Store. Please do not store your credit card or debit card details on any website. At last, I would like to conclude this presentation by saying, do your part, #be cybersmart.
That was a wonderful presentation. Now moving on further, we are going to have a comic show by the students of class 12 Science and Commerce.
Pratik and Jay are talking to each other. Pratik looks a little disturbed. Hey bro, why do you look so gloomy? Something wrong? Oh, it's you. Sorry, I didn't notice you. What's wrong? Okay. Earlier that day. Whoa, so many notifications. Oh, now I remember. Today is PUBG's 2nd anniversary. Okay, let's see. I better redeem these codes before they expire. This website is not opening. Probably the servers are busy. Site can't be reached. Great. This website opened. I should fill in my credentials quickly before it stops working. Okay, ready. That's strange. Why did it redirect me? Probably server issues. I thought I won't find anyone. Happy second anniversary, kid. Finally, after looking for the website for hours, my coupons are redeemed. Now I just have to open PUBG and claim the rewards. That's PUBG. Now it's time to collect the rewards. I hope it's something good. Somebody is using my PUBG account. But how? He received some messages after getting his account hacked. So that's what happened. Oh, now I get it. Yup, I screwed up big time. I should have checked the website before entering my credentials. Should have known better that not to trust that shady website. Now I've lost both my Facebook and PUBG account.
Well, you witnessed a fantastic comic show. Now moving on further. Phishing is the attempt to acquire sensitive information such as the username, password and credit card details directly from the users by deceiving them. Phishing is typically carried out by email spoofing or instant messaging. It often leads direct users to enter details at a fake website whose look and feel are almost identical to the legitimate one. The fake website often asks for personal information details and passwords. Be careful of them. This information can be used to gain access to the individual's real account on the real website. A lot of people on the internet world today fall prey to the phishing attempt. So, to prevent people from doing such a mistake, now we are going to have a live demonstration of phishing by the students of class 11 science.
Hello viewers. So today we are here with something special, unique and an interesting activity, which is phishing. So I have a very simple question for you guys. How would you feel if someone else can read your Instagram DMs or any other social media handle messages? It would be very strange, right? Will it be okay for some? Obviously, no. But what if I tell you that it's happening with you right now? Well, you never know. So let's just start our live demonstration on how can someone become a bait to this act of phishing.
So, let's go.
Hey everyone, today I will be showing you live demonstration of phishing attack and how due to your casualty you fall into prey. My friends, if you don't know what phishing actually means, let me tell you. It's the attempt of giving fake links which look same as the original page. We, without searching whether the website is secure and legitimate, we fill out the details. Ha, that's enough. The hacker can get your info easily without your consent. Now, let's have a look how they exactly does and how you can be cyber smart.
In phishing, what they do is target who really want this sort of things like an influencer, YouTuber, etc. They fool them by giving a false website. which provides like free followers or subscribers. When they click the link, they are asked to log into their social media account, but here's the whole thing. They are misguided to another website which basically looks same as the official login page, but they can't tell the difference between them. So they blindly log into it and then bingo, they have given their social media ID and password to these hackers by themselves. Now the hacker has full control on their handles.
If in the offline world somebody offers a candy, we know better to take it or not. But the same formula is being used online and we are asked to fill a survey to get a smartphone or a trip. We always click it. These attacks happens via emails, ads or web pages. And when we click it, we provide them a lots of details. The emails looks like legitimate source, but they are not. Now, what to do, we all know. Avoid the online scams, verify the email sender, and check the URL whether it is HTTPS or not.
Well, this was the end today.
Be safe, be updated, be cybersmart.
That was a spectacular demonstration. Moving on, you would have always heard from your parents or from anyone around that never to take anything from strangers, even if it's appealing. It's the same way around for applications that are downloaded from unauthorized sites. Many a times people, mostly children, try to download the gaming mod of many games from unauthorized sites or the third-party sites which they do not have the protection against. The main risk in doing so is that downloading a software from a third-party app store infects the smartphone or tablet with a malicious software. Such a malware would have let the person take control over your device, so the device is at a huge risk. It might give the hackers access to your contacts, passwords, and financial accounts. To know more about this, we have a demonstration about the preventive measures to be taken while downloading an application from a third-party app store or a website by the students of class 11 Science.
Hello everyone. In today's world, people are always active towards social media, games and many interesting things. They have a desire to get the latest updates and products available on the market, which makes them do whatever they can, and to ease their work, they use some unauthorized websites and apps, which makes their work easier. For your information, unauthorized websites and apps are those sort of programs which are not cyber secured. This type of programs are mainly generated by cyber hackers who are very keen to play with your privacy. Allowing to share your privacy with these programs may leak your private data and information that can harm you both physically and mentally in future.
Right, as my friend Himanshu said, downloading apps from unknown and unauthorized sources have a pretty good chance of getting you into trouble. So, what are these sources exactly and how are they harmful? Anything you download from other than trusted source is an unauthorized source. Any apps you download from third-party sources are not ensured safe. Generally, you see YouTube videos giving link to some unknown sources. These sources are basically paradise for hackers who wants access to your information. Some of you might still try to download from unknown sources, but let me tell you, it's not worth the danger. Considering statistics, most of the time, only Android smartphone users fall victim into this. The reason why Apple users are more safer is because Apple users can install application only from their own app store and they don't have an option to install anything from unknown source. Whereas Android smartphone have an option to install apps from unknown sources. Android makes up around 75% in global operating system, and in India Android literally have the whole grab into the smartphone operating system. Another thing I would like to point out is about apps asking unnecessary permissions. Everyone should take a good look into the user agreement and permissions asked by the application. There are some applications that ask completely different permission from the task they are supposed to do. Some example of this include games asking permission for phone calls and contacts, etc. That's why always make sure to see the permission required anything twice before giving them the same. So I'd like to say that it is our own responsibility to strictly avoid downloading anything from any unauthorized sources and always download from our known and certified source. My friend Fachin will say more about this.
Now, why is downloading from Google Play Store, App Store, Windows Store and other similar applications is much safer? The answer is very simple. It is because the father brands of these applications are verified and declared official. Companies like Microsoft, Google, Apple, etc. are globally very well reputed. They run a safety check on the apps before you download them. They send you privacy alerts about apps that needs the user's permission to access your personal information, which violates their developer policy. Before they publish an app, moderators check it for compliance with an extensive list of requirements. If they find a violation, they ban the program from the store. However, these application hubs receive such a vast number of new apps and updates of existing ones that it is simply not possible for the moderators to keep track of everything. So, from time to time, malicious apps do slip in, which should be taken care of. Do not download apps to your smartphone straight away. Read user reviews of the app. They can contain valuable information about its behavior. Throw out unnecessary programs from your smartphone, PC or tablet frequently. The fewer apps on the device, the easier it is to control and monitor them. It doesn't mean that you cannot install any not so famous apps. Take a minute to go through the terms and conditions and guidelines. Always check that the permissions asked by the app are not unnecessary. So, these were the main precautions for downloading from trusted sources. Not much, right? If these precautions are taken care of, there is a major chance of your super important private data and your device being safe and sound.
So, from the next time, if you really care about your privacy, just check once whether the website or app that you will use is certified or not to access a particular thing. And if you don't,
wonderful demonstration. The government of our country has provided free Wi-Fi networks in airports and railway stations and in many public areas. We should be very careful while connecting to an open Wi-Fi network, because connecting to an open Wi-Fi network or a public network makes your device more vulnerable. It will attract the hacker's attention towards your device, and if you ever come across an open network, do not ever try to do any transactions or any logins through that network. To explain this, we have DEEPJYOTI of class 11 science, which will give you a hands-on demonstration on this subject.
At the railway station, we often get to use Google's free railway service. But wait, should you use it for personal works and make payments or share business stuff, as there are often users of Wi-Fi being vulnerable in such public places. Anyways, let's connect to it, as most of the time we are in public places and we often connect to these Wi-Fi networks for streaming high quality content. What could possibly go wrong in such a short time period? But in some cases, our data might be accessed by someone else who are at the back end of the screen. Our data gets transferred instantly because of these Wi-Fi networks. Often there are cases of data stolen. Free networks in public places, computer cafes, coffee shops, airports often attracts people's attention, as they can stream videos online and download huge files with a large bandwidth. Not only these free Wi-Fi networks attracts other people's attention, but they also attract attention of cyber experts like hackers who had continuous monitoring of these networks. They get to know about our usernames, passwords and details of banks and distribute malicious malware and spyware over these networks and even release some worm attacks. So whenever you are utilizing a public Wi-Fi network, make sure securely handle and manage all your...
That was amazing. So before ending the program, I'd like to say that in this world of growing and everlasting technology, there will always be positives and negatives of the same. Now let me tell you something. The global cyber threat continues to evolve at a rapid pace, with a rising number of data breaches each year. A report by Risk-Based Security revealed that a shocking 7.9 billion records have been exposed by the data breaches in the first 9 months of 2020 alone. Can you believe that? The best way to protect your system is by taking simple and easy steps which will lead to the smooth functioning of your daily life. Not to trust any third-party website, and to always check the site before proceeding any further. I'll wrap up by thanking the teachers and students for being an amazing audience today. And I hope you would have learned and imbibed a lot from today's program. On behalf of the IP team, I thank you all and wish you a good day ahead. Thank you.
हौसला छोड़ो ना हौसला दे दो ना हौसला जाना है दौड़ तुझे हौसला छोड़ो ना हौसला दे दो ना हौसला जाना है दौड़ तुझे सतरंगी समा है अतरंगी फिजा है क्यों है ना बोलो ना सतरंगी समा है अतरंगी फिजा है क्यों है ना बोलो ना हमरा ही है हमरा ही है हमरा जी है हमरा ही है हमरा ही है हमरा जी है
So Dad, will you walk the parade with me?
Yes.